Hi guys, Gwen, the Recovering Witch here. Welcome back to my channel. If you've recently subscribed, I want to say thank you. Thank you for coming back and watching this video. If you are new, hi and welcome. I'm happy to have you. And so today is, if you're following on the bandwagon, this is day 12 of the um, the Wedin challenge. I was trying to decide if I am going to be doing this to post for tomorrow. So yes, I'm making a commitment and I will do it. Okay, so today, for the Wedin challenge, witching every day in November, I am actually going to be talking about using tarot cards in your rituals and spells. This might be something you're familiar with, maybe you don't know, but you can use them. They are a great tool. So, a couple things before I begin. I did want to mention these cards, these were fairly cheap for me. If you are afraid of messing them up, I would say I recommend you guys use like a deck that you don't use anymore. Maybe it's just gotten too old, maybe like wear and tear. And you want to use it for a specific purpose because sometimes we have those deck cards, the decks that we just don't want to get rid of or maybe want to repurpose or something because everything serves a purpose. But I used this one. I got it at Five and Below for $5, just to get acquainted with the Rider-Waite deck. And yeah, so I didn't really care for the card stock, and I was like, I'm learning. It came with the book. I can use this for something else. So I did want to let you guys know, using what you have, or you can actually print the picture or the image you want to use for your specific intention, spell, or ritual. The other thing is, I did want to talk about if you do have multiple decks of tarot cards, you've been reading them frequently, you know the meanings. I would say getting really equipped with that literature and knowing what they mean to you for that intended purpose that you want to use the cards for. Again, it's all intuitive what the cards mean to you. So maybe it is through imagery or really what the specific traditional card meaning is. The other thing I wanted to mention, if you're not well versed in the cards and you're still learning, I would say a really great tool is going to biddytarot.com, and you can look up the meaning for the major arcana cards, which is what I'm going to be covering today. Just a few of them, not all 21. I picked the few that I think that really served like everyday situations and purpose. And then I had a book for you guys, and I tried looking for it this afternoon, and I could not find it. And even if I did, the cover of the book is all chewed up. And I'll explain why when I go through the cards, because there's a story behind one of those particular cards. And yeah, but the name of the book, I believe it is out of print. It's only prior copies that have been sold. I've got them. I've ordered them through like secondhand online bookstores since they are out of print. It's called The 22 Steps to Higher Path Tarot, I believe. I'll get the correct title for that book and also the author, but there is so much wealth of the information and meanings behind the card, herbs associated with the cards that you could use. I think it was a fantastic book. It was introduced to me through a tarot card class that I was attending, that I still am attending when I can, at the Awakening Spirit Houston. So thank you, Grendel. But yeah, that is a really great book to have in order to get the meanings of the cards in a tarot deck. What else? Is there anything else? I think that was it, guys. Oh, thank you. Again, I said I'm going to be covering the major arcana cards. You can use any of the cards in the deck, and I will explain later as to why. But specifically for me, I use the major arcana, because there are 21 of them out of the 70 odd um, cards in the deck. And typically when I read, sometimes we don't get a major arcana card in a reading. So from what I've been taught and what I've learned, and what I still implement, is that when you have a major arcana card, those are the main messages you should be looking for the message and really be seeking, paying attention to. So that's the reason why I had pulled these out and wanted to go specifically over them today. So that was the other point I wanted to make. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So if you saw my glamour video, I used the magician, and I did talk about it briefly. The magician stays on my altar. If you can see here in the imagery, the other major arcana card, the temperance, I kind of feel like with the flow with the cups, with the water, this kind of has the representation of as above, so below. I use this magician card. He stays on my altar when I'm going to be doing spell casting or rituals, and it's really to draw in that energy of the magician. I have a specific candle. I don't have it right now. That's pretty personal to me. And I'm out of it. I gotta go get another one. But I use, you can use any other candle that you want. I just want to throw that out there. It's personal for me and my practice, but you guys can use whatever you like. I call on the power of the magician because I am acting as the vessel. I'm asking for his energy, allowing me to be the vessel and cast the spell. When we think of the magician and the meaning of the magician card, it says here the element of surprise, good or bad. Really, from what I've read in other books, it's the manipulation of energy. We all know that. We call it magic. Taking what you have in that time, space, and manipulating what you were trying to accomplish. So I leave them on my altar. I hardly ever take them off. I take them out anywhere. And it kind of sounds like a date. It's like, you don't take me anywhere. But he does stay on my altar, and he does help me. So anytime I'm about to cast a spell or ritual, I call in his energy for me to be the magician, because I am the witch. And yeah, so I call in for that energy for him. So he is a staple on my altar. Okay. The next card I have is the High Priestess. I didn't move the Magician too far because I wanted to talk about this. The High Priestess, I have a Game of Thrones tarot deck, and sometimes I love to use the High Priestess in that deck, because it does remind me of the Morrigan with the color association of red. Being the sorceress, she is the seer. She knows the past, present, and future. So I use her typically, and I have used this candle for readings with her, basically just to help me, again, be the channel, working with my spirit guides, and getting the message across for the querent or the client that I'm seeing with the particular question or doing a general reading, and helping me with the message that needs to come across. So I typically take her with me when I do readings out, or you know, if I'm really wanting to do a reading for myself. So I like using her. I thought about putting the two cards together, but I didn't really see the point. And this is after talking to Spirit Guide George about this. He said, you know, you do what you feel is right for you. The Magician is specifically for me spell casting, or for ritual. This is used specifically for divination because it just felt right. Because for me, it's something that I resonated with. There's a story behind it, and in most of my cards, say if I'm not using this one, or again, like I said, if I use the High Priestess out of my Game of Thrones tarot card deck. It's really for that empowerment of the sorceress, but more specifically, so the Oracle, the seer. Okay, like, hey, I know something that y'all don't know. Okay. All right, moving on. Okay, so then I have the Empress, and I will go ahead and bring out the Magician again. Again, if you have not seen my glamour video yet, it is up. It was up for this week. I pulled the Magician again for being able to manipulate the energy and to glamour into what people see. So it says here the Empress delays will prove necessary. Taking that meaning particularly out of the way. What I see is abundance in this card. And all my other cards, the one that I used in the glamour video was out of my Influence of the Angels tarot card deck. And you see the woman that is portrayed in the picture in a field. She has all these animals, all these fruits. Everything is just so lively and just full of abundance. And I coordinated that with abundance, not just in wealth, but in all aspects of life, okay? And so I like calling in that energy, that loving, that nurturing. And I burned a pink candle in association with that. So again, I recommend you check out that video. The other thing, going back to the meaning of this card, maybe you are a mom or a single parent and you were trying to find that, the understanding, maybe the compassion, really diving into the feminine self. Let's just put it like this. We all have those dualities, okay? And I'll explain that in a little bit when I bring up the Emperor card. So, but yeah, when I see the Empress card, it's really the motherly card, and it's like, yeah, delays will prove necessary, meaning like, I'm your mom, it's because I said no. But again, in the loving and nurturing way for serving the highest good, the responsibility of motherhood. And so maybe you're trying to look for that inspiration, the right idea, coming from a loving space. Drawing in that energy of the Empress, but I used it specifically for the glamour video. Yeah, for my glamour video. And when I do my glamour ritual for portraying for what I want people to see. So I use that for inspiration and when I do that ritual.